Hi, this is Mark Seymour from Mark Seymour Photography. I hope you're well, and first of all, big thank you for watching my very first blog post on the new channel that we've just set up. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope at the end you want to click that like and subscribe button, please. So what are we going to talk about? Well, I'm trying to do a series of small little talks on variations in street photography and documentary photography, and over the series I was going to talk about different aspects of that genre of photography, like layering, shooting through, mirroring, heads in spaces, etc. So today I was going to talk about layering, because it's probably the easiest one to start with, and can add some great interest to your photographs. And it's relatively easy to sort of to start adding that into your images, whether you be a street photographer or a documentary wedding photographer, or in fact you could even do it on landscape photography, where you have the big stone at the beginning and you have your nice landscape sweeping off into the background. So layering, how do we achieve layering within our photographs? And the easiest way to explain, or the first thing you can do, is start shooting through objects to add a secondary layer into your photograph to create some interest. So you could shoot through objects that are in the room, or around the landscape, or the venue that you're particularly or location that you're at, or in fact what you can do is you can use people to shoot through. So you can have a person on either side of your frame, and you can be focusing on the person in the middle. So that's kind of shooting through, where you're using the two people on the ends of the photographs as bookends to try and make the photograph nice and compact and tight, so people, once they go in and look where you want them to go and look, they can't get out of that particular image, which is a great image. If people can't get out of it, generally it's a really good image. The other thing layering generally has is multiple points of focus. So it's not generally the sort of image you'd take out with f1.4 or f2. You generally want to be shooting at f5.6, f8, that sort of aperture, so you've got lots of depth of field. And generally, as a street photographer, stroke documentary, I'm going to be using a relatively wide angle lens, and 35mm is generally the lens of choice that I use. So you've got multiple points of focus, lots of things in focus, but there's no point having lots of things in focus if you've got lots of heads crossing over and lots of things merging into each other. So one of the things that you need to be aware of when you're looking through the frame is separation, and trying to keep those heads in their own spaces so that they're not crossing over each other, because it kind of looks odd when you've got heads growing out of heads, but if they're in their own little spaces, it looks so much better and adds to that photograph, and will take that photograph to a different level. The other thing I always like to see is the nose on the person, and the reason I say, look, try and make sure the nose is in the picture, because it means that you're taking the picture around from the front and you're confronting the person. You're taking a picture of the subject of interest. It's so easy to take a picture of a back of a person, and generally, I know there's good pictures of backs and we can use it in certain instances, but generally taking pictures of people's backs is really easy, and it just means generally we're scared to go and confront the real photograph, which is where the real interest is, and the one that's going to get us the most sort of likes, if you like, on Facebook, or the most comments from brides or clients when we show them those images. So no backs of heads, try and show the noses, keep the heads in spaces, and use objects to shoot through, or use people as bookends. So there's a few little tips regarding layering, but ultimately just keep shooting hard, edit hard, show us your best images, and happy shooting, and feel free to subscribe, and we look forward to really catching up soon. Thank you very much.